we'd now like to welcome to the stage, hailing all the way from Bermuda, Jordan Albert Williams, The Spillover.
Good afternoon once again. I am Jordan Albert Williams, and the title of my speech is The Spillover. Time will start on my first word. My father, a bald, black, and beautiful police officer. His duty as a sergeant in his severely understaffed station requires a grueling 60 hours of reviewing, reporting, documenting, presenting, policy writing, and so much more. After this brutal 12-hour shift, he eventually gets to do the job he enjoys most, being my father, my life coach, and my ultimate inspiration. However, a few months ago, something changed. His bright eyes when he came home became dull and distant. His radiant smile while teaching me how to cook flickered and faded. Soon I realized my life lessons had slowed to a halt, and I watched as my beacon of inspiration dissipated. At first I thought he was just tired or unmotivated, but I soon realized I was not seeing a man lose motivation. I was watching a man run out of fuel. And according to the World Health Organization, that condition has a name: burnout. Ladies and gentlemen, in a world that demands we achieve more, produce more, and give more, we must learn to preserve ourselves. Because we cannot pour energy into the lives of others when our own reserves are running dry. Picture a candle. Now, we usually focus on its flame, rarely acknowledging the melted wax pooling at its wick. But if the candle burns too intensely for too long, that wax pool can rise rapidly, smothering the very flame it was meant to sustain, burning it out. We are no different. We burn through our physical, mental, and emotional energy reserves when we are constantly performing and expected to produce results, which leaves us exhausted, detached, and depleted. But burnout doesn't just stop with us, no. It spills over. Imagine that same struggling candle trying to transfer its flame to another. As it's tilted, the melted wax can pour into the wick of the second, weighing it down, making it harder to ignite. Research by burnout psychologist Arnold Baker confirms this, finding that burnout can spread through our relationships and interactions. But burnout is simply the price of success, right? Wrong. Burnout is a roadblock that prevents us from reaching our full potential. So the question is, how can we prevent burnout? The first step is W, watching our energy. Raise your hand if you've been told that time is your most valuable asset. Yes, many of us have. However, this is a common misconception. We all receive the exact same 24 hours each and every day, yet a burnt out and exhausted student or employee may take 6 hours to complete the same task that could be finished in 2. The difference is energy, not time. Thus, preventing burnout requires managing our energy, not just our time. Just as a candle needs wax to sustain its flame, we need sleep, exercise, and meaningful relationships to sustain ours. Next, acknowledging stress early. I remember a time in term 2 when I was studying for a Spanish writing assessment, and although I identify as fluent in Espanol, I frantically studied past midnight every day, growing more and more stressed. I received a score of 40%. ¿Por qué? I believe that non-stop studying correlated to higher test scores, pero es incorrecto. In fact, practices like these are detrimental because, as burnout researcher Dr. Christiana Malach established, burnout is a cumulative process that starts when we ignore stress. So to prevent burnout, we need to recognize stress as a symptom and put boundaries in place. However, I am not saying we should avoid pressure because pressure stimulates growth. The goal is balance. Finally, we must expand our identities. Many of us here, including myself previously, hinge our self-worth solely on performance and productivity, which is the perfect recipe for burnout. But we are not machines. We're humans, meant to shine, yes, but also to be rekindled, restored, and renewed. Expanding our identity differentiates our self-worth from our performance, removing the need to constantly prove ourselves. My dad and I did this by taking up fishing. And although we don't catch many, which is 100% his fault, it has expanded our identity beyond work and academics. So start something new, advance your hobbies, enjoy life, and watch your light grow. Looking back, I realized my father did not need to shine less. He needed to burn wisely, and that is a lesson for all of us. For when we wax, our flame can truly be transferred to another. Thank you.
Wonderful speech. Thank you very much. We're now going to be calling, you know the drill, on 3 questions hailing from the audience. I'd like to please invite you to put your hand up if you'd like to ask a question to our great speaker here.
Hello. Thank you so much, Jordan. Here, up. Here?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your speech. I have a question for you. I'm wondering, do you think that the brighter you are, the faster you burn?
Hey, you should be here instead of me. That's such an intelligent question. Now, she asks, the brighter we burn, is it the quicker we fail, or is it the brighter we shine, the quicker we burn? Yes.
The brighter we are, the faster we burn. What do you think?
That's an interesting question. And I'll put it like this. The problem is not when we shine. The problem is when we burn too intensely, constantly. Now, let me give you an example. I'll prove this question with an example of Simone Biles. We all know her, right? But back in 2022, I was convinced I was going to marry that woman. And even though throughout her whole career, she was shining because she's one of the greatest gymnasts in the world. She was burning too constantly under pressure to perform, constantly under pressure by society to be the best. And this actually was the reason that she said she pulled out of the 2021 Winter Olympics. She said that the problem wasn't that she was so good, but because she wasn't taking care of herself. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, is not when we shine. I invite you all to shine, but I also invite you to burn wisely, to understand boundaries, and to make sure that you are not using too much of your energy, because when we do, it limits our ability to succeed. It limits our ability to shine. So shine, ladies and gentlemen, but also burn wisely. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that answer. We're now going to be taking our second of 3 questions in the audience on the left.
Oh, hello. Incredible speech, insightful. My question to you is just, what example do you have where you've been stressed, and how did you mitigate that and avoid it and reduce it?
Okay, so beyond the Spanish example, I will tell you an example of a couple years ago when I was just a young boy. I was 13 at the time. I was new to this public speaking thing, and I had also recently joined football. I was great, that is what I told myself, but we were training every day. I was training for 5 days a week on not only my club team, but my school team. I was playing the piano, the viola, the double bass. I was trying to be a philosopher, and I was trying to do public speaking. And when I reflected, I realized that I genuinely need to be doing all these things. And I looked at the impact of all these activities on my life. And that is when I realized I was stressed and I was getting burned out. So in response to that, I decided to watch my energy and step back from some of those commitments that I made. And one of the ones that I stepped back from, surprisingly, was public speaking. I was so excited to deliver my speech. I think it was on elderly isolation, but I realized that I was not going to sacrifice my well-being to please people so that I could shine. We need to sustain ourselves, sustain that energy so that in the future we can shine. So by taking that one step and acknowledging my stress, acknowledging that I was burnt out, it has allowed me to reach the place that I am now, speaking in front of these wonderful people in the Royal Institute. So yes, I was stressed that time, but I decided to follow this wax framework, and look at where it's led me now. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, speaking of burnout, I hope you've got some energy left for our third and final question.
I might not.
All right. Our speaker on the left right here.
Yes.
Hi, thank you for your speech. So back home in Mexico, we have these, what I'll roughly translate as, we don't all have the same 24 hours, which appeals to this concept of there are people who need to take transport, who need to do work and everything. And you're speaking about managing work, burnout and everything, but I was wondering what you think about people who need to go to work and invest just millions of hours into getting enough money to feed their families and everything, and can't maybe take the steps that you are suggesting.
And that is a beautiful question. You know, unfortunately, in this world, we are not always in control of our situations. But the one thing that we have control over is our responses to them. All of us here have some degree of control how we react to people. You know, my mom has been looking at me like this and smiling. And, you know, I've tried not to laugh, but that's controlling my situation to make sure that I'm keeping this straight face when I'm looking at her. So we all have this control. And my advice to anybody who is going through that situation where they feel that they need to be putting in these hours at work and that they're overwhelmed, take some time. The most applicable step in my wax framework is acknowledging that stress. When we acknowledge something, it gives us power. It gives us power to confront it, and not only that, try to put steps in place to address it. So even though we may not be able to control our situations, we control our responses to them. We can watch our energy. Take maybe 5 minutes in a day to sit down, read a book that you like. We can acknowledge our stress, acknowledge that we're struggling, acknowledge that we may be facing burnout, and expand our identities by sharing time with loved ones, family. So even if you do not have control over your situations, ladies and gentlemen, you have control over your responses. That is your power. Thank you.